Hi, dear students. Welcome back to another session of human resource management, uh, which is all about the topic which is on recruitment techniques. So, this after knowing the meaning and needs of recruitment, what type of techniques that the organization or companies or the industries, either it may be in public sector or it may be in the private sector, they will follow the techniques. What type of techniques they will follow to recruit to the employee. Let us see what it is all about and then what techniques they are following. So this is the session of 35. Let's move on to the slide 1. There are many techniques actually followed by an organization or the companies. Let's see what it is all about according to the in the world scenario or in the internal domestic matter or the subjectively or objectively how this recruitment is going to be taken place with using of many techniques. Let us see. Recruitment techniques are always evolving, and the internet has significantly changed the landscape in the recent years. Well, while you are discussing about in the past arena, in the last way back in 1991 or way back in 1980s, but there the concept of recruitment is totally changes in this global era, because in this era there are many new techniques are to be used in recruitment, which is always evolving. Internet, without having internet, I don't think so that there is a significant changes has to be made out in an organization. These types of landscape changing is happening in recent years. Around two-thirds of UK companies, particularly in the United Kingdom, UK companies are using new media and to attract what do you call the candidates. Particularly during in 2015, CIPD, what do you know that the company's manuscripts, on that basis that the traditional method are still viable, as they mentioned in 2015. And a mix of the two maybe is favored by many, because not having the ideology or the concepts of recruitment during the 1980s and then 1970s aftermath, when we are going to discuss the what type of methods they followed to recruitment in global era, I think there are the huge changes may happen, but though it happened in new era, the organizations are also depending upon the that type of concepts way back in 1980s and then 1970s. Those people are using the same method nowadays also carrying with using of internet. Here's a roundup of the most popular employee recruitment techniques are to be used according to the what do you call CIPD of 2015. Particularly, UK is a one country where they are using both traditional and then modern methods by recruitment. And then one by one, let's see what are the techniques that companies are following for recruitment. There are particular number one, recruiting internally. There are many great reasons to recruitment internally. Firstly, it can be work out cheaper than advertising externally or using agencies. You can just run an ad for free on your company internet or message in the board. By messaging the board internally, it may be easily get out the recruiting the employee. At the same time, there are This is the not a costlier one. This is the cheaper way to get employee by making advertising externally or using agencies, but they will giving information there in the company internet, and also in the they will give messages on the notice board. Secondly, having a policy of regular internal recruitment creates a strong progression path for your employees. That's great for staff morale, motivation, and retention. And when you do hire externally, you can promise excellent progression opportunities. This is what the second ideology in recruitment internally. If you are going to recruit internally, there is a motivation and retention, particularly internal recruitment, should be a strong progression path should be considered for as far as employees are concerned. This is one best excellent opportunities, particularly to the employees. And lastly, internal recruitment is useful for succession planning, where human resource planning is going to prepared short term and then long term planning. In that, succession planning will always consider, particularly in the internal recruitment. Present leader, that actually what actually your present leader are not going to be a around four over, that is well, while we are considering the present leader are not going to be around forever, so it's a good idea to develop current staff as their successors. This is what the first technique that we are using while doing the recruitment. The second one is advertising externally. External advertising is a bigger one, which is the biggie. There are lots of options with new methods emerging often, and every company needs to advertise externally sometimes, especially when you are growing. If that organization or that company growing a large in a large scale by expanding their branches or by expanding their departments, at the same time or in the meanwhile they must do recruitment by making advertising externally. And then this advertising externally, if the employee are need in the large scale, then what they will do, they will give advertisement to the many papers or to the many branches or many organizations, especially when the organization getting growth. This is best option, but this advertising externally is a costlier one comparing to the recruitment internally. So this is the second techniques that we are using for recruitment. Number three is print advertisement. Print advertising is a one process of technique where in recruitment are to be considered. Print is not actually dead as far as my knowledge is concerned. It is actually not dead because nowadays the media, that to multimedia and then e-media, electronic media comes up in this generation or in this era, then the print media is actually vanished out. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, I don't think so. Print is actually dead. It is existed. The print job and might be the most traditional of all requirement techniques, which always to be considered. But so long as sector specific journals and magazines are around, print ads are a great way to reach a well defined segment of job seekers. If the print advertisement as given by the organization, they will always follow. Some people will regularly follow the specific journals and then specific magazine, and then some people wants to read some articles there in the newspapers. From that medium of print, they will get the information of this recruitment. So this is the third technique of recruitment. Moving on to the fourth techniques of recruitment, that is on web advertisement. Web advertising is one which is the advanced technique used in recruitment. The strength of internet advertising is proven by its growth. It's predicted to overtake TV, as I am mentioning here, that is television, as the biggest ad medium by 2019. In 2019, I think, as far as not only in uh, the domestic televisions, but also take for example BBC or CNN, IBN channels or Republic TV, for that matter, they will have their own credibility by having more internet advertising proven by its own growth, particularly in that sector. But as far as the local languages, particularly in their respective states, they will also consider the web advertising by making, say for example, they will give example in the ticker, in the downwards in the TV channels or in the television. They will giving the ticker is going on here in the downwards of that channel. They will give the advertisement, which will consider as the web advertising, particularly those who are giving from organization to get recruitment. Advertising on requirement website promises a potentiality wide reach at low cost. Job seekers can use Google to find specific types of job at a range of the most popular recruitment websites, and it takes only a few techniques to set up an ad or an advertisement. See, this is what the one best idea to get recruitment nowadays. The Google is the vast search engine, which will search give a vulnerable popular recruitment, maybe in the range wise they will give, or in the types was, or they are giving the Google providing the recruitment. Other example I want to give here, that is Naukri.com and then job.com, are also the two types of the websites are also established by many companies nowadays. The depreciation is there in the market, boom is not there in the job market. Now it is all vanished due to corona. We know that the corona pandemic, I don't want to expand this corona in detail as far as here in this topic. And it takes only a few minutes to set up to advertisement. So web advertising is one. This is in a fraction of seconds we may establish the advertisement of that particular organization or a particular that the company. You can also advertise vacancies on your own corporate website, although ads may be less visible than those are major sites. Here, the many companies and then many organizations are always having and also keeping the websites updates. If they are having websites, they will also give an advertisement there. Make sure that all the people are watching that website frequently. At the same time, these types of websites are not having any good number of advertisement, particularly from the other department, where it will give the revenue factor maybe influence here. So this is one fourth techniques of recruitment, that is web advertisement. Fifth one is the social media. This is also one finest techniques of as far as the recruitment are concerned. Being active on social media services like Twitter allows you to meet potential candidates in jobs of ways through shared connections, through shared discussion topic, and also through with a little bit of internet connections. And because it's easy for job seekers to contact you, a quarter of UK companies are recruiting via professional networking like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a one engine which will give or one site which will providing a good professional networking area, where Kingdom companies, most of the companies or organizations are went through these types of what do you call advertisement by to get employee or to get skilled employee via social media. This is the one type of technique while using in the recruitment. Your social media activity also expands your employer brand, showing the candidates what your organizational culture is like. That's a great matter for attracting top talent candidates to that organization. So, for example, most of the companies, particularly MNCs, I will take example here, Infosys or Wipro. Infosys is one company which will always depending upon the skills and then talent and then totally depending upon the potentiality of that candidate. The potential of the candidate is only through by these types of social media they will get it out. Assuming your culture is good, the attitude, civilization, folklore, everything is going to be matters in the social media as concerned. It works the other way too. You can use social media to screen candidates, assessing their suitability based on the content of their online posts. Nowadays, the corona pandemic is there. Nowadays, recruitment is, though it is not happening in many companies, but shortage of employee are also taken by the companies or by the organization through social media by asking the questions or making an interview through the online, particularly by screening the candidates or to the assess by the suitable jobs by giving an online post. This is one best technique of recruitment, that is the social media. Moving on to the next slide, there the other two techniques are there. I mentioned in the PPT. That is sixth one is the talent search. This is one technique that we are using most frequently in the recruitment are concerned. The popularity of online recruitment has made talent search a feasible alternative to job advertising. Popular recruitment sites hold a database of thousands of curriculum vitae, we are called it as CVs, which you can search using keywords to find potential candidates. There are pitfalls also there. Pitfalls is nothing but a drawbacks are also there. The process can be time consuming and stored your curriculum vitae may not always be up to date. Okay, this is the talent search by many companies by collecting their CVs, because their CVs are always included from the candidate birth to known languages, because language is also very much important to that employee and also to that organization, and also educational qualification, technical qualification, and then what you call the what you call the work experience, and then other experience, and then what type of the work previously that employee done. Everything is covered in that curriculum vitae. Many recruitment agencies also offer specialized talent search services using their own database of job seekers. This is the thing that where the talent search can be identified through using of this technique under recruitment. Then only it is possible to find out a good number of employee who are having their own capacity of skills and then their own capacity of the expertise in that special areas. So last one is the using recruitment agency, which is also one of the finest techniques of recruitment, that is using recruitment agencies. See, many organizations, if they are not having the websites or they are not interested to give advertisement there in the print media or in the social media or in the web advertisement, they will interest to having memorandum or having what do you call a treaty with the recruitment agencies, like that they are having recruitment to their organizations. Speaking of recruitment agencies, the proportion of UK organizations that use them in growing nearly 40%, where they are using a mix of in-house and then outsourced approaches. So, for example, nowadays nobody wants to get these types of seriousness because everything are easy one, and the factor is timing is a big element factor should be considered. No one is having a time, and then within that factor, considering all the companies and then all the organizations are outsourcing approaches they are maintaining. From that outsourcing, nearly 40% of the employee getting by United Kingdom organizations, particularly those who are in UK. A good recruiter is motivated, which is always based on the commission. This is the fact is there in the real field. As recruitment skills and experience, you may not and can access a large network of potential candidates. Using a recruiter costs money, but it does not keep your time free to do the things you are best at. This is also one factor depending upon this organization to this organization. Always depends to get recruitment agencies. Using by recruitment agencies is a easier one. It is not a costlier one. But recruitment process is a one that where all these techniques that have to be used. But as far as I given one best example, that is UK is always using these types of techniques to recruit employees to many companies or to the many organization. This is how they will favored to the employee those who are skilled and then expertised in their field, and then they are ready to work in the organization according to the workforce. So these are all the techniques of recruitment that I discussed in this session. Recruitment internally, advertising externally, print advertising, web advertising, social media, and last two are talent search, and then last one is using recruitment agencies. Well, obviously, last slide is all about source of reference of this collecting of the material, particularly the techniques of recruitment are concerned. So, dear students, please follow these references to get more information and then more details, not only from the point of view of knowledge but also from the point of view of examination. That please follow these references. Okay, with this, I will stop here. I will come up with a new topic in the new session. With this, bye bye.